Hey there, guys. How are you? I think we're live. We might be live. I'm not quite sure. If you can see me, say hello. How are you? It's almost 9 o'clock. I jumped the gun by a few minutes because I'm very impatient. But I have a Dr. Pepper mixed with some Fireball right here, and it's going to be delicious. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything and everything, ask away. Let's answer some shit. What is it? It's Saturday. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I have nothing better to do with my life. So let's have some fun. Go grab some popcorn. If you have Sour Patch Kids in the house, grab those as well. I love you too, Arthur Curry. Thoughts on Lights Camera Jackson? Well, I don't know. I give it a D minus. I just didn't understand it. He seems like an O. No, he doesn't. Hey there, guys. How are you? How's the new TV? It's pretty good. Are you gay? No, I'm not. Not that I'm aware. Greetings from Wales. Do you think the Justice League is going to suck? I don't want it to suck. I want it to be really good. But I'm still scared. I'm frightened. I'm a small child laying in the fetal position, and I'm hearing loud sounds from downstairs, and I'm not quite sure what it is. But I do want it to be good. I really do. I'm still waiting on that trailer that just really sells me on the movie. Right now, I do have fears, and then they talk about reshoots. I don't want it to be a bloated, convoluted mess. I want a good movie. I want a great Justice League movie. I want to come back after watching the Justice League and give that shit an A+. I want to say this is the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. But right now, I don't feel like that's going to be the case. But I could be wrong. Thoughts on the Disaster Artist? Okay. That just became one of my most anticipated movies of 2017. I didn't even really remember it even existed a few months ago, but I can't wait to see it go down. Yeah, Tommy Wiseau. I can't wait to see a movie about his life. Greetings from rugby. John, are you coming to Australia to play rugby? No, I am not. Only if I can sleep on your couch. Okay, the questions are going super quick. Hi, Brittany. How are you? Brittany's here. I did not hit her. Are you excited for the Dark Tower? No, I'm not excited for the Dark Tower. I'm going to see the movie, but the Dark Tower, it's this very big, epic scope, and then they gave the movie a budget of like $60 million, and it looks like they shot it like an HBO TV show. I feel like all the budget of the Dark Tower went towards the cast. And I feel like they paid Matthew McConaughey $50 million, Idris Elba another $10 million, and then that left them like 75 cents for the actual production value of the Dark Tower. And everyone I know that loves the books, they even say, judging by the trailer, it doesn't quite look like they wanted it to look. So I hope it's a great movie. I really do, but I have my reservations with the Dark Tower. But I will tell you, a movie based on a Stephen King novel I am excited to see, and that is a little remake called It. That looks good. The trailer alone, the newest trailer, sold me on that movie. It looks creepy as shit. I've never had a fear of clowns, but just something about the tone of that movie and going down in the sewer pipes, and yeah, I like the time period of it. It looks like Stranger Things, but with a creepy clown in it. Down here, everything floats. Would you buy a Stretch Armstrong style Clayface action figure? Yes. The possibilities with Stretch Armstrong figures are limitless, especially when you're a lonely guy with nothing better to do. The comments are moving rather quickly. Trying to. Have you seen the leaked Infinity War trailer? I have seen that, but the problem with that trailer is it's shot like this. It'd be like watching my video like this. So I watched probably I watched maybe 10 seconds of that trailer, and then I came to the conclusion I will wait for the HD version. Got to fix the camera here. There we go. That looks sexy. Best movie of 2017. I'm not quite sure about that yet, but I would say Dunkirk is probably in my upper echelon of 2017 movies. Just one of the, it was truly an enjoyable theater experience, and those are very rare nowadays. Hey, John, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Hope life isn't kicking you in the ass. Greetings from Arizona. Life's pretty good, man. How are you? I'm wearing a Zombies Ate My Neighbors t-shirt. Um, Favorite Star Wars movie? Empire? Yeah, I'm going to go with Empire. What are your guilty pleasure movies? I've made 10 videos talking about that, but Waterworld is number one. Over the Top is actually number one, so I just lied to you. What else is there? Mortal Kombat. Another movie, Footloose, starring Kevin Bacon from the 1980s, is a guilty pleasure. I don't like to admit it, but the scene where he's in the warehouse dancing truly inspired me to become who I am today. I'm still looking for an abandoned warehouse where I can drive into it and just like drink a bottle of whiskey and throw it and start dancing. But then I slip on some oil and snap my neck, and somebody finds me 3 days later. When are you going to do a Blu-ray collection video? The most coveted answer of them all. I want to do one. I just haven't got around to it yet. I do want to do one, but the truth be told, that video is going to be like 90% exactly the same as the last video I did. And then the other 10% will just be newer movies I included into the collection. So, Flick Crazy Podcast return. Maybe. I definitely do want to do a podcast. I'm not quite sure exactly the details, but I do want to do something. Because talking in front of a camera all the time, it's kind of, there's something relaxing about not having a camera on your face when you're talking. If I can just talk into a microphone and you can't see me, there's something a little bit more magical and mystical about it. And with that said, my name is Morgan Freeman. Welcome to the live Q&A. Shitty Morgan Freeman impression. Next fan mail unboxing. I actually have all the fan mail in tubs in my closet ready to go. I want to do it soon. Hopefully I can do it early this weekend. Or not early, early next week. Don't just stare at it, eat it. Christy, that's a fine Chardonnay you're drinking. Do you like Joel Schumacher movies? He did direct the worst abomination of them all, called Batman and Robin. But Joel Schumacher also directed another movie starring Nicolas Cage called 8mm. And that is a seedy, dark, disgusting movie, and I love it. If you haven't seen 8mm, I highly recommend watching it. It's I don't think it's for everyone, but I just love how disgusting and damp it makes me feel inside. What to do to get you on for something? That's my Nicolas Cage impression. Are you still friends with Chris Stuckman? No, me and Chris Stuckman are not friends anymore. I fucking hate him. I'm kidding. Yes, we're best friends. We've always been friends. For 5 years, we're friends. Now someone's going to take that clip. They're going to take that snippet, and they're just going to post that on YouTube. And we're going to have a YouTube controversy and drama. The last flick you walked out of. I haven't walked out of a movie in a while. I have walked out of several movies, especially during my high school days, because I just felt like I had something better to do. But there have been multiple movies where I thought to myself, if I just got up and left, would it really matter? Would I miss anything? I remember watching 47 Meters Down and thinking to myself, I don't give a shit what happens. I want them both to die. And if they both don't die, I don't care. So maybe 47 Meters Down was one of them. That was probably the last movie I thought to myself, what am I doing with my life? Most overrated movie of all time. I don't know. Why don't you guys list some overrated movies of all time and I can talk about them? Boyhood, I thought was a fairly overrated movie. Have you been keeping up with Game of Thrones? I have been keeping up with Game of Thrones. It's essentially the only reason I'm alive every week. Like what I do is I look forward to Game of Thrones all week. It's what keeps me going. I claw through the week, and then I reach Sunday, and I'm like, okay, it's here. I get to enjoy it. And as soon as I start watching it, it feels like it's instantly over, and then I go back to reality, and I hate everything. I just want to ride on a dragon with Daenerys Targaryen. Wally is overrated in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie Wally. I don't think it's bad. I think it's a good movie, but I don't think it's one of the better Pixar movies. I kind of what I like about Wally is I like the first act of the movie. I liked when the little robot is going around this polluted planet, picking up trash, and just like hanging out by himself. As soon as he goes on the spaceship with the iPad Apple robot, it looks like something Apple made. I kind of just lose interest with the movie. I don't know. It's kind of how I am with a lot of movies. I always like the first act of a lot of movies, and then it transitions into the second act, and I'm like, I don't want to go there. Don't take me there. Did you watch the jig? Did you watch the Jigsaw trailer? Yes, I did watch the torture porn trailer. I do want to watch the movie. I just hope that they actually came up with a clever concept this time. Because if Jigsaw is still pulling strings 10 years after he died, I have a hard time buying into that. Why the delay on the movie reviews? Good question. Speaking of that, I am editing my Valerian movie review currently. The thing is, when I go to watch a movie in a theater, I want to review it as quickly as I possibly can. But what happens is I want to think about the movie for a couple days, and then and then I take my time making it. So that's why, I sometimes when a movie comes out, or even before a movie comes out, you already see 75 reviews of the movie. So I'd rather be the guy who you can go watch his review a few days after the movie comes out. Oh God, Valerian. That's right, the Geek Keenan. It was a piece of trash, but I had fun reviewing the movie, and I will put it up maybe tonight after this. Really, what I'm doing right now is I'm just procrastinating on editing the video. That's what this live Q&A is. So as soon as this is over, I have to actually go edit a video for 3 hours. Thoughts on the Friday the 13th remake? Are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about the? Okay, you're talking about the Michael Bay produced. Yeah, I liked the concept of Jason Voorhees in that movie, but the not so much the execution. And also, speaking of Friday the 13th, the thing about that franchise is they were going to make a new Friday the 13th movie, and what happened was they were like the studio execs who know best, even though they don't, because if it were up to them, we'd just see movies like Wolverine Origins and X-Men 3 over and over again because that's what they think are good movies. But with the Friday the 13th remake, what happened was they were originally going to make a new Friday the 13th movie. It has a hardcore fan base, a cult following. the movie would make money. But what happened was they put out that shitty Ring sequel movie, and they thought to themselves, oh, nobody wants to see new horror films based on pre-established franchises. No one cares about that. But they didn't think to themselves, no one just cares about the Rings franchise because it's 10 years too late and there's nothing left to do. And plus the previous sequel sucked ass. So I'm very let down they didn't make a new Friday the 13th movie. And it's one of those movies you could make for $20 million and it's going to make $100 million. But yet the studio execs refuse to do that because logic does not apply. Do you have the Detroit Rock City Blu-ray? I do not have the Blu-ray, but I do have the DVD, and I love Detroit Rock City, an extremely underrated movie. Detroit Rock City is it's kind of like my favorite. It's one of my favorite genres. It's like coming to age, just dudes hanging out, going on a road trip. That's what I like. And plus, I like the 1970s and 1980s time period in movies. Something about it relaxes me. I don't know why. What if they stop making superhero movies? I don't know. Maybe they'll focus on original movies. I don't know. I don't mind superhero movies as long as they're good and they have substance. But anymore, it's like all there is. I wish there was a little more. I wish there was more time, effort, and budget put into original ideas. And as long as superhero movies keep progressively making money, more and more money, they're just going to go with pre-established characters and franchises in Hollywood. And I wish we could have both of those things. When are you going to do a Flit Cave tour? I will do. I want to do one. I really do. It's on the to-do list. But I will give you a quick tour video of my office if that makes you feel any better. Check that shit out. There's the set. There's a curtain. There's me. There's my closet. There's my there's my little play button I got a couple years ago. That right there, when I got that, that was the all-time high in my life. I felt like I did something. That right there is worth more to me than my college degree. There's a whiteboard. I write ideas on there sometimes. There's my camera, and then there's my microphone, and there's a stormtrooper. So there's a quick office tour for you. What is your favorite sex scene in a movie of all time? Jeez. Well, I will say the scene in American Psycho does get me when he's has his old VHS camera and he's flexing in the mirror. That always kind of resonated with me. Are you excited for a new Blade Runner movie? I am excited. I like who they got to direct the new film based on his other movies. Harrison Ford is back. He actually looks like he kind of wants to be in this movie. And I'm a big fan of what's his face? Ryan Gosling, yeah. So I am excited. I think visually it looks awesome. Justice League hopes and predictions. I just hope that it's good. And my prediction is I think the Justice League will be a way better movie than Batman v Superman, because I think with all the negativity towards Batman v Superman, they at least will hopefully correct some of their mistakes. And I think with someone like Joss Whedon coming on to continue directing the film, I feel like you might have a little less bloat. So I hope it's a great movie. Good night, John. Good night, Crispy. Yes, me and my pal Crazy Jason are still friends. I don't know what is it with YouTube. If you don't have someone in your video every week, you're enemies. I don't. Aladdin thoughts. Aladdin is my favorite anime Disney film of all time. Street Rat, Rift Raft, I don't buy that. And I believe Will Smith is playing the genie. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. But I am looking forward to a live action Aladdin movie. I really am. I've been waiting for it for many years. I want to see a quality movie. And Will Smith as the genie, they're probably going to CGI him. And he better be blue. If he's not blue, what are they doing? Best Game of Thrones season. Um, that's a. I would say one of my least favorite seasons of Game of Thrones is probably the first season. Um, I, I don't remember. I don't recall the around season 4, maybe. Battle of the Bastards was one of the best episodes. Um, I'm trying to remember the season where they locked the one guy inside the vault. I forget his name. That was one of my least favorite storylines / seasons. Oh, anything with King Joffrey was phenomenal. I loved everything. He was my favorite asshole of all time. I need bat nips, don't we all? Thoughts on the upcoming Flashpoint movie? Eh, why don't we just kind of establish the characters we have now and then worry about it? Are you excited for Ready Player One? I am excited. I mean, anything with Spielberg directing, I can get excited for. The trailer looks cool. I like how it introduces all these different pop culture references. If you look at the trailer, you can see Freddy Krueger, you can see Iron Giant. So I don't know much about the novel, but it does look really cool. The other thing is about Ready Player One is it kind of seems like a concept that would have been a little bit cooler maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Was the book even written 10 years ago? I don't know. But the concept itself maybe would have been more interesting to me had the film originated as soon as the novel did. Baby Driver or Logan? I'm going to go with Logan on that. I think Logan was in many ways what I wanted. That's what I want from more comic book style films. Baby Driver is also a very entertaining movie, and I definitely will buy it day one on Blu-ray and watch the shit out of it. Do you smoke weed? I do not smoke weed, but I do consume a lot of caffeine. Rank all the Spider-Man movies. Well, how about we take Amazing Spider-Man Part 2 and Spider-Man Part 3, and we combine those together, we put them in the toilet, and we flush those pieces of shit. Because I would say my favorite one is probably the newest movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, and then right after that is Spider-Man 2, and then I'll go with Spider-Man the original. I wish more YouTubers did this. Me too. I don't do it enough. There's no reason I shouldn't be doing this at least once a week. Where do you live? I live in South Carolina. I used to live in Indiana. Favorite Kevin Smith movie? By the way, how's the audio? Does the audio sound better if I'm right here, or does it sound better if I'm back here? But my favorite Kevin Smith movie would probably be Clerks, because Clerks it was kind of like it's what I wanted to do in life. I remember watching that movie when I was a younger kid and thinking, if I can just work in a gas station and talk about movies all day long with my friend, that's cool. That's all I want. Just two dudes talking about movies. I wish Kevin Smith would make more movies like Clerks. Actually, I just wish he'd make Clerks 3, but that's apparently not ever going to happen, which is very unfortunate. John Flixer, check your Twitter. John hates Chris. Confirmed. I uploaded that clip. You son of a bitch! Did you really upload that clip? I don't believe you. You're a liar. Let me check. Wow, you did. Are you still friends with Chris Stuckman? No, me and Chris Stuckman are not friends anymore. I fucking hate him. Okay, well, that's thank you for that. Have you ever seen a 70 millimeter film? Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few of them. I've actually been to an actual legit IMAX theater a few times. And I think I've seen the Dark Knight in an IMAX theater. So there are portions of that shot in IMAX 70 millimeter. I mean, Dunkirk was shot with 70 millimeter, but I don't technically consider that because I did see it in a IMAX theater, but it's just a digital projection without the actual 70 millimeter film stock. So I don't technically count that. John, thoughts on the Emoji Movie? Looks like shit, probably is shit, and that's my thoughts. Do your Nick Nolte impression. I don't think you can handle that, but okay, I'll do my Nick Nolte impression. Give me 1 second. Here it goes. And scene. It's a real nice thing what you did for that boy in that tank, Tommy. That was his line from the movie Warrior. Edgar Wright movies ranked. A few of my favorites are Hot Fuzz because of all the Point Break references. Shaun of the Dead. I enjoy Scott Pilgrim. Not my favorite, but I respect a lot of the things in it. I'd probably say my third favorite Edgar Wright film, right behind Shaun of the Dead, is probably Baby Driver. So, Dunkirk or Inception? I think Dunkirk was a phenomenal movie. I think it actually was Chris Nolan's best looking movie. But I think Inception is a much more interesting movie. It's much more rewatchable because the thing about Inception is you could go back the first 5 times and pick up new things every time you watch that movie. And there's also a lot of scenes in Inception that are very captivating. I love Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe more than I should. Tom Hardy's in the movie. He's also in Dunkirk, but he actually says things in Inception. So I love both movies, but I think Inception is more of my preference of a film. Do you believe in aliens? Can we get serious right now? I want to get very serious as we talk about aliens, okay? This isn't a joke. Calm down. I'm not kidding. When it comes to aliens, aliens exist. Statistically speaking, aliens exist. I mean, you look at all the galaxies. The possibilities are endless. There's a million galaxies beyond our own. And to say there's not one other living life form of intelligence out there somewhere, I think that would be there's no logic. So I would say, statistically speaking, I would say there has got to be intelligent life form out there somewhere, which would qualify as an alien. So yes, I do believe in aliens. And if you want to hear more thoughts from my brain leak out to you on a camera, I believe we were created by aliens. Technically speaking, I believe there was some kind of form of Prometheus where they came to Earth, they dropped a little black goo into the water and said, we're going to make some shit out of that. And then you have us. So my dream is to have you copyright taken down my video, then my life will be complete. I'm not going to copyright your video. I don't give a shit. Upload whatever you want, man. Have you seen The Green Mile? Oh, I love The Green Mile. John Henry, or what's his name? What is his name in the Green Mile? Michael Clark Duncan. What is his character's name? It's John, right? Something. But I love the Green Mile. You have Tom Hanks with what does he have? Bladder issues. He has kidney stones, so he can't take a piss. I love the Green Mile. He's cooking now. Mr. Bojingle going down Mouse City. Zombieland or Shaun of the Dead? Oh, Shaun of the Dead. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of movies where I love the first act. And then when it comes to the second act, I get tired of the movie and I don't like the direction it goes. And Zombieland is a great example of that because you have Zombieland in the beginning. You have Jesse Eisenberg, right? He's just some dude running around trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. It's really awesome and fun. And then he meets Woody Harrelson. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be awesome and fun. They find a Twinkie truck. I'm having a fun time. And then they meet Little Miss Sunshine and Emma Stone in the movie. And that's where the movie just goes right down the shitter for me. That's where it gets boring. And but I do really enjoy the Bill Murray cameo. But I just wanted to see two dudes hanging out in the zombie apocalypse without the interjected love story. I didn't need it. Do you like eating pizza? Is water wet? Yes. I actually want to order some pizza right now. That sounds good. All right. Thoughts on Black Panther? Black Panther is a character I never knew much about, but I like the concept. I really think that could be an awesome movie that can stand out compared to the other Marvel movies. And as far as the concept and the look of Black Panther, I love it. I love the way he looks. I like his superpowers because he's not. I like characters that don't feel overpowered, like characters like Vision or characters like Superman. They're too godlike. I like characters that actually they can get hurt. They are put in danger and jeopardy, and their lives are at risk. So Black Panther is one of those characters, much like Captain America. But as far as the trailer goes, I didn't love it. I don't think it's bad, but I didn't really like it. Doesn't wow me. Maybe the next trailer will. Do you watch Game of Thrones? Yes, we've talked about Game of Thrones already. I love Game of Thrones more than life itself. Pitch a Zombieland sequel. I would want more of here's what I'd want for a Zombieland sequel. I'd want an everyday guy like they did in the first movie, but a little more capable. And I'd like to see him actually legitimately trying to survive the zombie apocalypse in a comical way. So for example, he tries to zombie proof his truck or his vehicle. And he's trying to weld on cages and a snowplow on the front with chainsaws. But he's a dude like me, so he's completely incapable and he has no skill sets of welding. So he zip ties and duct tapes the fencing or whatever onto his vehicle. And then, he goes out to the zombie apocalypse and he's just looking for something to eat or some Sour Patch Kids. I would just like a movie where a dude wanders around in the zombie apocalypse. He doesn't really even have to do much. I just want to see him walking around looking at stuff. That's what's interesting to me. But you know what? Speaking of zombie movies, I'm still waiting for this to become a movie. You would think with the advent of all the zombie movies and how popular they are, you think somebody would say, hey, why don't we make a Zombies Ate My Neighbors into a movie? Why is that not a thing? They have so much material to work with. And plus, look, you can make the fucking thing in 3D. That's more money for you, studios. By the way, if any studio ever makes that movie, you owe me 5% because I just pitched the idea. It's my intellectual property now. How do you read all these? I don't know. I feel like I'm about to have an aneurysm trying to. I'm trying to keep up. John, have you ever had an 8-hour arm workout? No, but I do occasionally watch Rich Piana because I think he's just so interesting to watch. Like, he just looks like a big chewed up piece of bubble gum walking around. I like it. How many pull-ups can you do? I don't know. I guess if my life depended on it, is it overhand or is it underhand? If it's underhand pull-ups, I can do quite a bit because that's all biceps. How long do you normally? I got a lot of gym questions here. How long do you normally go to the gym for? Probably like 45 minutes to an hour. Anything over that, I'm just kind of wasting my time, and then it just becomes cardio because the way I go to the gym and the way I work out is it's very intense. It's very fast. I don't spend a lot of time in between what I'm doing, and I superset almost every single workout I do. So I start profusely sweating within 5 minutes of being at the gym. So yeah, it only takes me about 45 minutes, I would say. Have you ever cried during a movie? Oh yeah, quite a few movies. Um, maybe I try to suppress it, the memories of crying during movies, but it does happen. Do you like Tango and Cash? It's okay. I actually, when it comes to Stallone movies in prison, I actually think Lockdown is a better movie. Favorite dark comedy? American Psycho and maybe Nightcrawler. I find a lot of dark humor in movies that most people might not find humor in, but that's just me because I'm weird and I'm sick and I'm sadistic. The name of the company is Video Production News, a professional news gathering service. That is how it should be read, and that is how it should be said. I feel like watching Nightcrawler again. Who should voice Scar in the live-action Lion King? For me, Benedict Cumberbatch. Thoughts? Um, yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch would be a good voice for Scar, but he also voiced the voice of the dragon in the Hobbit films, and I feel like it's kind of he's already done the villainous character voice for an animal, So, but I think he would be a good choice. You should have audition for the Venom voice. Your face actually looks like Eddie Brock and Tom Hardy. Brittany could be Gwen Stacy. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I should have auditioned for the Venom movie. Yeah, but the problem is I can't act, and I think Tom Hardy will do a better job than me. Best Adam Sandler movie. I would say my favorite Adam Sandler movie is maybe Happy Gilmore. He called the shit poop. Actually, that's from Billy Madison. But yeah, I don't think it's the best Adam Sandler movie. I mean, if you want it from a critical standpoint, maybe Punch Drunk Love, even though I think the movie's boring. Spielberg or Tarantino? I'm going to go with Spielberg on that. Best gambling movie? Good question. That's a good question. I'm trying to. What is the Ed Norton gambling movie with Matt Damon? That was a good gambling movie. And if you want to be technical about it, you could say, Rounders. It's called Rounders. Rounders was, Casino Royale. I was just about to say that. I was going to say, if you want to be technical about it, Casino Royale, the entire, second act of that movie is about gambling. So, by the way, speaking of Casino Royale, that in so many ways is a near perfect movie. When you take a movie and you look at all three acts of it, all three acts of Casino Royale are their own thing. They're their own entity, their own movie. You have the first act, big action sequences. You have the second act, which is the thinking man movie, where he has to use his wits to win a game. And then you have the third act, which is like the love story. Perfect movie. Favorite heist film? Come on, man. It was never about the money. It was about us against the system, showing that the human spirit is still alive while everyone else inches down the freeway in their metal coffins. Point Break, 1991. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. Love it. I'm trying to read the comments. Name one movie that always gets your nips hard. Batman Begins. Batman Begins gets my nips hard. I stand. Actually, another. A lot of movie scenes get my nips hard. You can quote me on that. My name is John Flickster, and there's a lot of movie scenes that get my nips hard. I would say one of the most nipply hard. One of the most. One of the scenes that made my nips most hard is. I would say I remember watching The Dark Knight in the theater, and when Bruce Wayne crawled out of that well and the music swelled up, that made my nips hard. How good is The Breakfast Club? I'd give The Breakfast Club a solid 9.5 out of 10. I love The Breakfast Club. Have you ever been to a casino? Yes, I have been to a casino. I actually went to an Indian reservation casino, and I spent $10 on a slot machine and won $200. That was pretty cool. Cara Delevingne, a good actress? Question mark. I don't think she's a great actress, but I think she has enough ability. If you put her in the right role, she can be okay. I thought her and Dane DeHaan were both pretty bad in Valerian, though. Zero chemistry, but I do have a movie review talking about it, so I will try to put that up soon. John, you're awesome. What's the most embarrassing thing to happen while filming a flick trip? I don't know. I think there was a time where I was in my car filming something in a parking lot, and like I was trying to mount a camera with a suction cup on my windshield, and it kept falling off. And I think I freaked out and just started screaming. And as I did that, there was someone standing right behind my car and just staring at me. But I wasn't embarrassed by it. I feel like they were frightened, the person watching. Thoughts on Jeepers Creepers 3? I can't wait to see it. I think the original director is coming back. That's cool. By the way, speaking of the director of Jeepers Creepers, go do a Wikipedia search on that guy. He has a dark past where he did some bad things. But besides that, yeah, I can't wait to check it out. I hope it goes back to what made the first movie so good. And plus, I think it's a prequel movie. Jeepers Creepers 3 is a prequel movie, right? It takes place after the events of the first movie, but before the second movie? In my opinion, it should take place before the events of the first movie. That's what I'd rather see. John, would you ever do a fan meet and greet? I would. I just don't know where my fans are, and I don't know where they want to greet me. John, Mayweather or McGregor? I want to see Mayweather get knocked out. I want to see him laying on the ground, knocked out. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. The guy knows how to move around and avoid punches. So, but I do want to see McGregor punch him in the face a few times. Please, I need it. I love the movie Watchmen. I actually have a Watchmen poster right behind the camera. Love it. I love the artwork for Watchmen. I think the movie's a little bit too long for its own good, but no, I love Watchmen. Have you ever driven under the influence? I mean, I don't think from a I don't know. You know, I feel like I had, but I it's not like I took a breathalyzer before I did it. Um, but I don't recommend it, and I don't stand by it, and I'm not proud of it. But in all fairness, that's a long story. I'll just say it technically wasn't even on a road. So, so many questions. I know, man. I can't, they won't slow down. If you could interview a dead person, who would it be? Are they still dead when I interview them? Or am I just talking to a corpse asking it questions? What do you do for a living? This. I know it doesn't make any sense, right? What do you wish you knew more about? The Real Rejects. Hey, man, how's it going? I wish I knew, like, if I could magically know more about any subject matter. I don't know. I wish I was better at being more mechanically inclined. I wish I could just open up a car and fix anything with my bare hands. No tools required. I wish I had more mechanical skills, or like being able to like build a house with your bare hands. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be useful. Would you be interested in competing in the Schmodown? Yeah, I would. I've been out to LA a few times, and each time I've been invited to go on it. I just never have the time to do it. It never meshes up good with the schedule, but I would like to do it. I don't know how good I would do because some of those trivia questions, like I know about movies, but some of the questions they ask on that show, I'm just like, why do you know that? And how do you know that? Yes, Greg, that is true. I do want to be Ryan Gosling from either Drive or The Notebook. Maybe I just want to be Ryan Gosling. No skills required. I just want to be Ryan Gosling. You have a great radio voice. You're listening to the Soothe the Sounds of Jazz 101 with the Flick Pick at 9:45. My voice is shit. 4K, your thoughts? I love 4K. I upgraded to a 4K TV. I bought some 4K movies. I will say this. It does make certain movies look better, but it kind of takes away the magic that some movies have, because there are some movies where if you put them under a fine microscope, you can start seeing all the flaws. You can see the makeup, you can see the effects, you can see the blemishes, and it kind of it's almost too much sometimes. Animal House or the Blues Brothers? I've always liked the Blues Brothers a little bit more. You have Belushi, you have yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You have Dan Aykroyd. I'm trying to read these questions. John, did you watch Sausage Party and did you like it? I did watch Sausage Party. I thought it was okay. I thought the thing that Sausage Party was, I thought 50% of it was entertaining. And then it kind of was one of those movies where it just went on a little bit too long for its own good and the gag started to get old. But I was very impressed by the creativity of Sausage Party. Like I liked all the sexual innuendos. I thought they did what they could with food stuck in a grocery store. Can you do an impression of 2011 John Flickster? I don't know. If I could instantaneously lose 50 pounds and maybe sit here like this, hey guys, I remember a time where I watched my uncle pee in the Christmas tree. You know, maybe. John, did you watch Kakalaki movies with OJ? Yes, I did. I never met OJ though. What is next to your Dark Knight poster? That poster right there on the end is actually the original Mad Max poster. So, yeah, it's Mad Max the Road Warrior. That's the original poster. Can you dance? Only on a pale moon night with the devil. I can't dance. I have no dance skills whatsoever. I have no what is the word? I have no what is the word I'm looking for? I have no vocabulary, first of all. But second of all, what is the word I'm looking for when it comes to dancing? Coordination. I have no coordination. That's what I was looking for. What would you do if YouTube suddenly died? I don't know. I think YouTube, fortunately, is to a point where it's becoming too big to fail. Because now it's it's the number one video sharing platform on the planet. I think YouTube will be around for a while, but they keep making changes to where they just don't really help anyone. Worst Fantastic Four movie, 2005 or 2015 film. I mean, I think the 2005 film is just junk. I think it's junk. I think the 2015 film has at least 15 minutes of quality entertainment. And I actually liked Rise of the Silver Surfer just a little bit. I actually liked the Silver Surfer. You can say what you will about the Fantastic Four movies, but when it comes to the Silver Surfer, he looked good. Like a lot of things he did in that movie were legit. And if they could have just taken that character and put him into the Marvel universe now, I think he'd fit in. Uh, all right, let me scroll up to the comments, trying to keep up. John, shout out my girlfriend Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Favorite masked killer in movies? Jason Voorhees. Do you like Canadians? Yes. Do you like Starbucks? Not really. I don't drink coffee. I'm more of a chocolate milk in the morning kind of guy. So I don't require $9 coffee. Come to Australia. If you send me a plane ticket, I will come to Australia. Thoughts on Daniel Craig coming back as James Bond? Yeah, dude. I love Daniel Craig. And him coming back for one more James Bond movie, that's cool. But I kind of was hoping by this point, I feel like they've done everything they can with Daniel Craig. And they're going to reboot the James Bond franchise anyway. After this next movie, they're going to reboot it with somebody else and a new director, and it's going to go a different style. So my thing is, why not just do that now? You know, if somebody like Christopher Nolan wants James Bond, just give it to him and start. Why waste Daniel Craig's time doing one more movie? DVD upscaled to 4K. It looks okay. It looks okay. I wouldn't I mean, the truth is I've had a 4K TV for a month or two now, and I've watched more non-4K movies and even some DVDs on that than actual 4K movies. So I don't know how I feel about myself. Which is the worst Electra, 2005 or Catwoman is the worst movie. compared Chris Nolan as a director, that is an awesome idea. Absolutely. Thoughts on the Logan Lucky trailer? I watched part of the trailer. I know it has Channing Tatum in it. I don't know if I'd go to the theater to see that movie, but I'd definitely probably watch it one late rainy night on Netflix. Describe yourself in 3 movie characters. Patrick Bateman, uh, Louis Bloom from Nightcrawler, and Tom Hardy from The Warrior, or from Warrior. And I want to throw a little Bodie from Point Break in there too. Are you white? No, I am not. uh, Thoughts on the Jackass movies? I remember in high school, I was one of those Jackass wannabes. Me and my friends used to go push each other in shopping carts into bushes and trees, and it was some good times. We didn't have anything better to do with our lives, and we were losers. So when the Jackass movies came out, I loved them. I remember going to see the first Jackass movie, which was rated R. And at the time, I was like 16, and I couldn't get into the movie, so I had to sneak into the movie. And yeah, those were good movies. Those are fun. Not a lot of rewatch value, but I enjoyed them for what they were. Favorite pizza? You got to go with a Works pizza, or you got to go with a barbecue chicken pizza. Everything else doesn't matter. What is your impression of China? As in the country, or the female wrestler who overdosed? I don't know. Communism? I mean, I know China likes Transformers movies. Have you ever been to a strip club? Yes. Thoughts on Magic Mike? I like the movie way more than I probably should. I don't know what that says about me as a man, but I rather enjoy the movie. Matthew McConaughey is hilarious in the movie. And I don't know. I don't know how to say that I enjoy their dance routines without coming across odd to you. Oh, David Vargas, thank you for the $5, man. Thanks. I think that's the first ever live chat donation I've ever got. I didn't even know that was a thing. So thank you, David. Tell me, do you bleed? Love the videos, John. Keep up the good work. What happened to the podcasts? And yes, I do bleed. As far as the podcast, I don't know. It just went on a hiatus. I guess we tested out the concept. Some people liked it, and I'd like to do more. I like talking about movies. So hopefully, one day the podcast can return because, you know, I miss it too. It was fun. It was fun to sit there and just talk about movies, give your thoughts. So I do want to do more of the podcast. It's just logistically speaking, I'm not quite sure where to put the podcast or what the format should be. So it's just kind of figuring out schedules. Why South Carolina? That is where Brittany was moving for work, so I followed her. And I can make YouTube videos just about anywhere. I even used to make YouTube videos in my parents' basement. Can you hear a Mark Wahlberg impression? Yeah, in just 1 second. Shitty impressions is what I do. Are you ready? And scene. Hey, what are you doing over there? Hey, come here. Hey, what's in your hand? Huh? Okay. Say hi to your mother for me. Do you ever sleep? Yes, I do sleep quite often. Uh, I wish I could sleep forever. Like I think naturally I'm actually a vampire. I think I am I think what happened was, the truth be told, I think I descended from vampires in Germany, and I am maybe 25% vampire. I don't crave blood. I can live without the blood. I'm almost like Blade in many ways. I am a daywalker if I need to be. Um, but yes, I could sleep all day in a dark box if I had the opportunity to do so. Because at night I come to life. I can prowl the streets, you know? And now it's getting weird. So let's move on to the next question before I say something I'll regret. Do you like Jeremy Johns? I've met Jeremy Johns 2 times. Yeah, we got along. I wouldn't say, oh, we arm wrestled once and I beat him. That was awesome tacular. So yeah, Jeremy's when I met him, he was a nice guy. Yeah, definitely. John, can you do the blob impression? No. I can't degrade myself. Even though I have been for the last hour. Hotels or motels? Well, hotels feel safer because you walk in a hallway and you're protected. A motel just goes straight to the outside and society can enter anytime. Plus, motels always feel seedy. Have you ever been to Comic-Con? I have never been to Comic-Con. I do want to go. I'm sorry, my nose itches. I actually, I almost went to Comic-Con this year because somebody contacted me, a company, and said, we're doing this panel. This is what we want to do. Do you want to be part of it? And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And then it just didn't quite work out. So I was this close to going to Comic-Con. I would have went, but it just didn't work out. Measure your calves like you did your biceps. Oh, my calves are like built like little girl calves, no matter what I do. I think they're around 13 and over 13 and like 5/8 or somewhere around there. They're nothing amazing, but they're getting cut. The calves are getting cut. Hopes for The Last Jedi and Thor Ragnarok. I just want movies to be good. That's all. That's my only expectation. Just be good. Give me some original ideas. Surprise me. Are you real? No, I'm. Am I real? No, I'm actually not real. I'm actually what I am is I'm an illusion. I'm a hologram created by corporations to talk. That's what I am. I'm not. This is like Weta Digital actually already pre-made this video at a cost of $300 million. It's the best CG you'll ever see. Like this live Q&A took 4 years to create. It was actually produced by James Cameron. That's why he's not making Avatar films right now. That's what took so long. He had to make this live Q&A. Thoughts on Scorsese's upcoming film, The Irishman? I'm excited to see it. The only thing is I wish all the actors in The Irishman I wish they all could have got together to make this movie 20 years ago, because Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci, they're fucking old. Like, they are old, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's natural. It happens. But to see them in their prime, all three of them together, that would have been amazing. Now I just feel like if they try to make Joe Pesci this enforcer type, or they try to make Robert De Niro this badass, I'm just like, they're like 95 years old. I'm just sorry. Like, if you did that in 1995, I would buy into it. But it's Scorsese, so I think anything's possible. Harley Quinn movie. We already got a Harley Quinn movie. It was called Suicide Squad. They didn't give a shit about anyone else in that movie. It was about Harley Quinn. Can we do more flick trips? Yes. Yes, we can. Absolutely. I do want to do more. The thing is, it's just if there's something good to go see or something fun to go do or something I want to buy, I will take you guys with me. I'm taking a shit right now. I think that's where I watch 95% of my YouTube videos as well, so I understand. I just assume everyone watching my videos is taking a shit. Am I wrong? Pitch me a Mad Max Fury Road sequel. That I there's so many things you can do. I would like to see them. Here's what I would okay. Here's what I would like to see more of. Not necessarily a pitch for a new movie, but I would have enjoyed more of just kind of learning about Immortan Joe and that whole society and really taking more time there and like checking out the sites and seeing how they're growing their vegetation on top of those mountains. I wanted to see more of that go down. I wanted to see more about their everyday lives, like the mother's milk. Okay, I see them pumping mother's milk. I want to see where it goes, who drinks it, and when. Like I wanted more of that. But don't get me wrong, watching an hour and a half car chase was entertaining as well. Do you want kids? Yeah, Sour Patch Kids. Will you see the Emoji Movie? I just don't know if I can bring myself to get up, walk to my car, start my car, drive 5 minutes to the movie theater, get out of my car, walk in, hand them money to watch a literal piece of shit that has no substance. I don't know if I can do that. I don't feel like I should be paying them to do that. It just sounds like a really tedious task, and I don't know if I can dedicate 2 hours of my life to wasting it. I just don't know if I want to waste that much time. Worst high ever on a drug. Well, one time I overdosed on heroin, and I woke up 3 days later in an alleyway. No, I actually caffeine is considered a drug. So I remember the first time I ever took a pre-workout, which is a very high caffeinated stimulant that you take before you go to work out. This was maybe in 2013. I took like 3 scoops of this because I thought I was a badass. And I remember my head, like the hairs on my head started tingling. And then my brain, it felt like it was getting hot. Like my brain, it felt like my head was a microwave and my brain was like a popcorn kernel about to pop. And then I went to the gym and I felt like I was going to puke. So that wasn't a very good caffeine high. Can you and Chris Stuckman do a hilariosity of Gods of Egypt? I don't know if I'd want to waste time doing one on Gods of Egypt, but maybe another movie. That would be a strong possibility. I do want to do a movie review on Over the Top. I'm going to do that. I promise you that will happen. When? I'm not sure. Best high school movie. I would probably say The Breakfast Club, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What's another high school movie? I'd say those are two of my favorites from the 80s. One of the newer high school movies, which is a comedy movie, I would say Superbad is a it would be up there for the newer of the comedy movies taking place in high school. Family Guy or Ted? Family Guy all day. Are you a filmmaker? I'm not. I'm not a filmmaker. I don't think I have the patience for it. I would probably be better. I think I'd make a better producer of a film because I like to pitch my ideas. I think I know what works. I know the tone that it should be. Um, so I think that's the role I would be better at. Earliest movie memory. Gosh, I remember I remember as a kid back in the early 90s. I remember going to see a lot of movies with my dad, and I remember going to see The Three Musketeers. I remember going to see The Last Action Hero. I remember going to see The Lion King. I remember going to see Adam's Family 2. I remember going to see I remember Jurassic Park, going to see that movie and crying for some odd reason. I don't know why. I remember seeing the animated movie Aladdin in the theater. Um, I can remember all these movies, and I miss it. I really do miss it. Alana Clark, thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you for that, Alana Clark. Thank you. That's awesome. That was very kind of you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. So, Alana Clark, you're phenomenal. You're the best. Winner takes all, but Alana Clark takes it all. John, help me kidnap a koala. Do you like the Titanic sex scene? Yes. Yes, I do. I just remember that old steamy car with the hand up against the window. Uh, trying to scroll up to catch up on some of the comments here. Disney Princess Crush. If you want my answer to my Disney Princess Crush, I actually made a video which it somewhat went viral, and it's where I talk about the top 10 hottest Disney princesses. I did make that video. Am I proud of that? I'm not quite sure. But I did talk about those. Now, I will say, I had not seen the movie Frozen yet with Elsa. So had I seen the movie Frozen, I would have put Elsa in that top 10 hottest Disney princesses video. And now I feel really odd talking about this. I feel like I went too far. My turn. What happened? I've answered these. I've answered a lot of guys. There's like 20 questions of the same thing. I've answered them earlier in the podcast, or I'm calling this a podcast. Fuck it. This live stream, this podcast, whatever you want to call it. Have you seen Akira? I have not. I have not, but I own it and I want to watch it. Somebody sent that to me, and I need to sit down and watch it because I am an anime. I know nothing about anime, and I want to expand on that. John, what is your favorite Stephen King movie? I would probably say The Shawshank Redemption. That is my favorite Stephen King movie. And I would say after that, gosh, I like The Shining, even though I know Stephen King doesn't even like the movie The Shining. And maybe It. I'm hoping the new It movie, the remake, is going to be one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. But I'd go with The Shawshank Redemption. What is your favorite film in the Godfather series? I always thought Godfather 2 had the best. It moved the quickest and covered the most. I thought the first one, it's a phenomenal movie, but kind of drags. Stand By Me is Stephen King. You're right, dude. I always forget that's a Stephen King. Okay, yeah. So I would, gosh, Stand By Me versus The Shawshank Redemption. Now that would be an interesting debate. Gosh, I've watched Shawshank Redemption more than Stand By Me, but I like Stand By. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I don't know if I could do it. Like a guy who's wrongly accused and his best friend's Morgan Freeman, or kids going to find a dead body by the train tracks. Why can't we have both? Stand By Me. Yeah, I think overall Stand By Me hits me a little bit harder. Like I connect with Stand By Me more, but Morgan Freeman in The Shawshank Redemption. Did you get a 4K TV? Yes, I did get I got a 4K OLED TV a month or two ago, and I love it. It's the best picture quality I've ever seen, and everything else just doesn't quite compare. I've owned a lot of LCD TVs. I've owned a plasma TV, and once you go OLED, you don't go back. Favorite Netflix show? I liked Orange is the New. I for a little bit I liked Orange is the New Black. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, Daredevil. I remember Daredevil. I went for a very long time without watching Daredevil on Netflix. And once I started it, I was addicted. I watched all 2 seasons within like a week. I can't wait to see a new season of Daredevil. I can't wait to see Punisher. As far as like Luke Cage and the other shows, I don't really love them. Oh, and Stranger Things. Yes. So I would say Stranger Things is probably my number one show on Netflix. So hurry the hell up with season 2. I need it. Take me back to the 1980s. Hey, John, do you think everyone is built for 9 to 5 work? Example, do you think it's destined for everyone to work it? Um, I don't like the 9 to 5 structure. I think making someone go somewhere every day for a certain amount of time, I feel like it goes against human evolution. I don't feel like people were meant to do some of the jobs people are forced to do. Um, I can speak for myself. I remember going to a job where I sat in a cubicle, and I woke up early. I got there at 8 o'clock and I left at 9 o'clock. And I remember just being in that cubicle and hating my boss so much and looking out the window. I looked out the window one day at some guys mowing the grass in front of our office building and thinking to myself, I would give anything to be that guy right now. But then maybe that guy mowing the grass, he's outside sweating his ass off in 90-degree heat, looks up at the window and sees me thinking the same thing. So it's one of those things. Me personally, 9 to 5s, I feel like I'm one of those people. If I had to do it, I would do it. But I'm also one of those people that I feel like I would always find a way to do what I want to do somehow, some way. Um, and let's see. Oh, the old Jack. Thank you. I think you donated $10. Thank you for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But I think it's foreign. I think it's like what is NOK currency? NOK currency. Where's that from? What is NOK? Norwegian. So he's okay. Norwegian currency. Thank you. The old Jack. You badass. You. Thoughts on Ice Cube as an actor? I think he can, if you put him in the right role, I think he can pull it off. He's a hell of a lot better than Ice-T. I think we can all agree on that. John, come to Honduras. If you buy me a plane ticket to go anywhere and you give me a nice little room to sleep in, I will go there. Are you excited for the disaster artist? Absolutely. I think the disaster artist will probably, I feel like if it just gives me 50% of what I think it's going to be, it would probably make my top 10 movies of the year because the trailer alone is one of the most comedic things I've seen in a movie all year. So please, yes, The Disaster Artist, it's probably one of my most anticipated movies. And there's a lot of big movies still coming out this year, but I think that might be in the top two. John, can you do a house tour? Yeah, I will do a house tour. The thing was, our house wasn't really put together. I mean, we just now put curtains in our bedroom. That took 3 months, and I just now put curtains in our bedroom. So that's why I don't want to show you guys an empty, boring house. I want to have it somewhat decorated before I show it off. What are your current goals? I want to gain 5 more pounds of muscle mass. I want to reach 300,000 subscribers. I need to make more videos. I need to stop procrastinating. I need to get my shit together. And yeah, those are my current goals. And I also want to somehow mass a fortune of $1 billion, get a butler named Alfred, and become Batman. But I want to become Batman to where I have all the technical tools. I have the suit. I have the vehicle. But I don't actually have the crime-fighting skills. So what I do the first night out, I go out after spending like, $1.5 billion. And the first night, I just get shot, and I'm done. Thoughts on Unbreakable? Thought I liked Unbreakable more than I. Are we talking about the TV show Unbreakable or the movie? The TV show on Netflix is funny. The movie of Bruce Willis, there's a lot of things I like about it. There's a lot of things that when I went back to rewatch it, I kind of found a little bit dwindling. But I can't wait to see a Split sequel. I will say that. Would you rather be stuck on an island forever with Lights Camera Jackson or Tiny Todd? Well, I think Tiny Todd has more film knowledge, and I could probably have a less irritating conversation with Tiny Todd. And Tiny Todd's already dead, so I wouldn't have the urge to kill him. So probably Tiny Todd, yeah. Sixth Sense or Split? I think Sixth Sense, if I was watching it for the first time, my mind would be blown. But I'm going to say I could probably go back and rewatch Split because Sixth Sense is definitely one of those movies where it's a one-time watch. Do you have a lot of friends? Absolutely not. You guys are my friends. YouTube is my family. Without you guys, I am nothing. And so, no, I don't. The thing is, in Indiana and in high school, I had friends. But the thing is, I got older. I moved away, and I moved to a place where I really only have one friend. His name's Jason, and then I have you guys. So, John, did you like Pet Cemetery? Yeah, but I think I like Pet Cemetery 2 a little bit more. I like Edward Furlong in that movie. What do your parents think of your YouTube career? They think it's cool. My mom thinks it's really neat that I get to do this, and I've been doing it for 5 years now. And then, no, she likes it. She's impressed. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I would be doing something like I wouldn't want to be doing. Who's your best friend on YouTube? I would say the majority of my good friends are YouTube. You know, I have my pal Crazy Jason. Though he hasn't made as many videos lately as he probably should. Then Stuckman, and then my other friend Matt Brando, who has a channel. So I would probably say those are the three people I talk to most. Do you watch Fargo? I do not watch Fargo. What is your favorite Scorsese film? I think the best Scorsese film is probably Taxi Driver. I think that film has everything that makes Scorsese great as a director. And this was a time where he just really went for it. I would also say another one of my favorite Scorsese films would probably be this might be an unpopular opinion, but I stand by it. I think Casino is a better movie than Goodfellas. I'd rather watch Casino than Goodfellas. I think the content and the story is more interesting. Plus Sharon Stone. Watching Sharon Stone in go-go boots being psychotic, I don't know why, but it does something for me. I also like Gangs of New York. I love that. I love Bill the Butcher in that movie. Yes, I'm still with Brittany. Yes. Do you miss Blockbuster? Jesus, do I miss Blockbuster? Blockbuster was part of me. That was an escape. That was a place where you could go and you could leave society and you were just immersed in these movies. They were overpriced and they always charged late fees for not rewinding them, but I was still there. I missed the smell of it, the carpet. It was Blockbuster always had a plasticky smell to it, and I think it was all the VHS tapes. But I do miss it. I do miss Blockbuster. Favorite underrated horror film? When it comes to horror movies, you know, I don't feel like any of the ones I really enjoy are underrated. You know, I like Insidious. I like The Conjuring. I like Nightmare on Elm Street. I like the first Halloween. So none of those I would say is underrated. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head that might not. I like The Ring, but that's not, people like that, so it's not really underrated by any means. Uh, let's see. I don't know. I guess when it comes to the newer horror films, like the style of Insidious is what actually scares me anymore. Favorite movie snack? Chocolate covered peanuts with a Diet Coke, some Sour Patch Kids, and popcorn. Give me all three of those things for a movie, and I will be happy. But what I like to do is I like to keep the Sour Patch Kids in my pocket, and I like them to get warm and a little bit gooey. That way, when you take a bite into them, it's just they melt in your mouth. Do you like the Shrek films? I like the first Shrek movie. Everything after that just became a little too heavy-handed with the pop culture and the one-dimensional jokes. Thoughts on the Last Jedi hopes? I hope Mark Wahlberg, or I'm sorry, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I hope Mark Wahlberg is in The Last Jedi and he says, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Hey, what is this, the Phantom Menace or something?" No, I hope that Mark Hamill actually gets to do what he should do in that movie. And I feel like he was terribly. Mark Hamill, if you go watch some interviews with Mark Hamill talking about The Force Awakens, he's not very happy with the way that movie played out. And I agree with everything he says. They completely misused him. They misused Han Solo and they misused Carrie Fisher because they had all three of these actors and they just couldn't put them together in one scene. They just couldn't do it. So that was a letdown. But no, as far as The Last Jedi, please go the route of what made Empire Strikes so great. Go that route. Let Mark Hamill kick some ass with a lightsaber in the movie, and yeah, give us that, and I'll be happy. Thoughts on Henry Cavill's mustache? Yeah, the thing is, do you think they could have maybe scheduled those reshoots to coincide with the filming of his new movie? Or he could, you know what he could do? He could do what Captain America did when they added on the Avengers bonus scene at the end. He can just stand there like this, pretending like he doesn't have a mustache in every scene. So Superman, what are you doing here? He just stands there with his hand over his mouth. By the way, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, in the Avengers, when Chris Evans had to shoot his the end credit scene, he already grew a mustache for another movie. So if you watch the end credit scene to the Avengers, that's why Captain America is setting like this to cover up his mustache. Why are DVD stores closing? Because physical media is dying. People no longer want to buy those plastic optical discs when they can sit at home and stream movies on their TV. Or the fact that most kids nowadays, younger generations, and not all of you, but some, people enjoy watching movies, these cinematic experiences that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. There are people who like to stream those on their screen that's 4 inches big. And that to them is all they need. That's not how movies were supposed to be watched. And I think that's the problem with today's generation. And when I become president, I'm going to change that. I don't care about healthcare. All movies must be watched in a cinema on a screen at least 200 feet by 80 feet. That is it. And that right there is why I will never run for political office. Chest Day vlog. I think I have a Chest Day vlog somewhere on my channel. Type in John Flickster or Flickpick workout. You'll find those videos. Chester Ballasturi. Chester Ballasturi. Thank you for the $10, man. I very much appreciate it. Chester, thank you. Thank you. Anybody who's donating anything for this chat, I really appreciate it. I did not know that actually existed, but I do appreciate it. Thank you for that. That's awesome. You guys are contributing to not only my internet bill, which makes this possible, but also caffeinated beverages that keep me alive. So thank you. What is Deathstroke's role in the Batman solo movie? Well, his role doesn't exist anymore since Matt Reeves is directing now, and Ben Affleck said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just be Batman. You guys can direct it. You guys can write it. I'm tired. So, yeah, Deathstroke was going to be the main villain, but Matt Reeves now has a completely different idea. And does that include Deathstroke? I don't think it does, but I think he should definitely be part of the movie. At least set him up, have him in there, you know, because if you're going to make, if Matt Reeves is going to make a Batman trilogy, not to have Deathstroke in one of those movies, I think it's a crime against humanity. Because that's one guy, that's one villain that can go toe-to-toe with Batman that is also a tactician, and I'd like to see that go down. So Philip DeFranco. I like Philip DeFranco. I like a lot of. I think he's a very smart guy. I like his viewpoint on a lot of things. I think he's very fair to both sides. I will say sometimes I wish he was a little bit more, because he is a news channel, but he's also he's a channel that offers an opinion. And sometimes I wish he was a little more strong and confident in his opinion, to where he would give his opinion and not apologize immediately afterwards and try to play middle of the road. But I do watch Philip DeFranco almost every day. And I am a sucker for YouTube drama. Like, I fucking hate it, but I'm a sucker for it. Like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, don't give a shit. But for some odd reason, I'm oddly entertained by the drama that surrounds them. And I hate myself for it. How much can you bench? In my prime, I was able to bench, I believe, 315-ish to 325. I never cared about maxing out. I think I just did it one day randomly. This is probably a year and a half ago when I weighed another extra 12 pounds. I had 12 more pounds of muscle on me because I was eating 6 times a day and hitting the gym 7 days a week. But since then, I've toned down. I've tried to just take it a little bit more easy. And that's probably why I don't look as bloated anymore. Connor Forsyth. Forsyth. Hey, John, I love the channel. I love you too, Connor. Thank you for the $10 donation. Guys, this is awesome. You guys are fucking awesome. I appreciate it. I wish I could jump through the computer screen and give you a nice little hug, a kiss on the cheek, and a pat on the back. And then I'd go into your kitchen and I'd eat all your food. Worst movie theater experience. I've had so many in the okay, the worst movie theater experience. Let me take a drink of this and I will tell you. One of the most recent shitty movie theater experiences I've had was I remember going to see Spider-Man 3 in 2007. And I was excited to see the movie. All my friends were excited to see the movie. And first of all, I believe the air conditioning in the theater was broken. So it was like 90 degrees in there. Everyone's sweating. Everyone smells like shit. And then behind me is some asshole chewing on his popcorn, but he forgot that he has a mouth that can close. So the whole movie, I hear this. And then not only that, the movie halfway through, I start to realize isn't that great. And then when Peter Parker starts dancing with fucking eyeliner on, I was thinking to myself, how did this happen? It's Spider-Man. Like, how did you guys do this? So that was probably one of the worst ones. By the way, thank you, Jack Manor. Thank you, man. $20 donation from Jack Manor. Dude, thank you for that. That's very much appreciated. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. When YouTube is ashes, I will give you permission to live. Do you like the first or second Hellboy movies better? I actually think I like the second one a little bit more. I don't think it's the better story, but I like the villain character in the second movie a little bit more. The prince and the princess characters. So yeah, I'd go with the second movie. Have you watched Chris Stuckman's anime recommendations? No, Stuckman, he knows his anime, and he always he does tell me to watch certain movies, and I'm like, I have it on the list. I will watch it one day. But to be honest with you guys, I rarely have times to watch movies. I rarely have the time to watch movies I want to watch because, every week I go see a new movie. And throughout the week, to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of time to watch movies. I might watch like one movie a week that I want to watch, that I just go to my movie shelf and I put it into the Blu-ray player and I get to enjoy it. But rarely lately do I have time. And I mean, I know I don't put out as many videos as I should be, but there's also every day I can spend like 2 hours just answering emails, and it's very time consuming. Do you play Call of Duty Zombies? I used to a little bit, but it was too intense. Like, it was just too intense. I feel like I was going to have a heart attack when I played it. Pitch the most insane movie plot ever. Okay, so most insane movie plot ever. Okay, the movie, first of all, is going to have a budget of $300 million because there's no way you can make this movie cheaper than that. And what this movie is, it's almost essentially, it's almost like Clerks. You have two guys, two normal guys. There's nothing special about these guys, but they do have some witty conversations that go back and forth. And somehow, some way, they get the ability to time travel. And I'm not talking about like shitty time travel. It's not like they get in a phone booth and they travel back. No, no, no. These guys have like a spaceship. It's a science fiction film in many ways, and they go back in time, and they go back to prehistoric times. They go back to uh, Neanderthal time. Like they have conversations with Neanderthals, and one of the guys gives the Neanderthal a lighter, and that changes history. And then we jump forward to 10,000 years in the future, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to see a science fiction time travel movie that takes itself serious. And I want aliens to be in there too. Someone make that. James Cameron, can you please make that? Hottest comic book actress? Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlett Johansson. Um, I'd say those are a couple of my picks. Favorite visually stunning movie? Uh, I would say I'm trying to think where to start with that. I would say there's elements about the film Watchmen I really enjoy from a visual standpoint. The movie Watchmen at times looks beautiful. I think there are scenes in 2001: A Space Odyssey that kind of still impress me, even though the movie was made 40 something years ago. Um, and they still hold up to by today's standards in many ways. I'm trying to think of some other very visual, impressive films. There's a lot of movies where there's scenes. There's scenes in a lot of movies where I love the way that it was shot. Do I necessarily think the entire movie is a masterpiece from a visual standpoint? Not necessarily, but like one scene that just really always like and really impresses me is the opening scene in the film Drive. And the way that that's shot, it's so smooth, it's so seamless, and the way that they shot the viewpoint in the car as he's driving around the streets of LA evading the police, it's so intense, it's so real. So like I love the way that that was shot. I love the way that it looks. Are you going to do a fan mail unboxing? It's been so long. It has been a long time. I will do one. I have everyone's packages once again ready to go. I have them all setting out. I want to do it. It is going to happen soon. Favorite Game of Thrones character? Come on. Come on. I'm sure you can take a guess on who my favorite Game of Thrones character is. I'll give you a hint. He's a Lannister. If Tom Cruise were to play a superhero in a Marvel or DC film, who would he play? I think if it was 1992, Tom Cruise could have played Captain America. But now, I think Tom Cruise would probably make a better villain than he would a hero. So if you can make Tom Cruise a villain in a DC movie or a Marvel movie, I think that would be the best option. Why does Sony suck so bad? It's crazy, right? You think a studio worth billions of dollars would be able to get their shit together, but they just can't seem to formulate a good idea that amounts into making a profitable film that's cohesive and competent. I don't know why Sony sucks so bad. I mean, sometimes they have good movies, but sometimes, they take franchises and they completely just destroy them. I mean, look at the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. They had everything that they needed to make a good movie. Look at the Ghostbusters. That could have been a good movie, but they just made all the wrong decisions. Favorite Marvel movie villain? I would say Loki is probably the best and most charismatic, but I also really enjoyed Michael Keaton as Vulture in the new Spider-Man movie. That's the thing. Marvel's villains, they kind of suck. They kind of just Marvel villains kind of just pop up. They serve a purpose. They don't really have much depth, and they're very one-dimensional, and they just disappear. Thoughts on the recently announced Batman Beyond that takes place after Affleck's trilogy? Yeah, I think they can do something. I mean, that's the only logical thing they can do because once you use up Ben Affleck in all three Batman movies, they definitely are going to have to wait a little bit to reboot the character, but still use the name recognition of Batman to keep making profit because Batman is Warner Brothers cash cow. So I think that's the logical choice. And I think with a Batman Beyond movie, you can do all the cool things that that people like about Batman while not technically being Batman. So I think it's the smartest thing they can do. And then after they make 3 movies with Batman Beyond, now they're going to reboot everything, and then you'll have a new Batman. So worst Nolan movie. Oh man. I would say the one that I'm least entertained by is probably Insomnia. It's not even a bad movie, but when you compare it to Nolan's other films, it doesn't really it just doesn't really add up for me. It's like I'd rather watch Inception. I'd rather watch The Prestige. I'd rather watch any of his Batman movies. I'd rather watch any of his other movies over Insomnia. Transcendence. Transcendence was a piece of shit, but not technically a Nolan movie. No, Nolan didn't direct Transcendence. I believe didn't Feister direct that? Didn't Wally Feister direct Transcendence? I believe he did. Yeah, Wally Feister directed Transcendence. What a shame, right? Worst Spielberg movie. Oh, Indiana Jones 4. I would honestly say that's probably Spielberg's worst movie. It has to be. All right, guys, I'm going to take some more questions. We'll talk for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to have to eat because I feel like I'm going to pass out. I have steaks in the refrigerator that need to be eaten. You're picked to play Nightwing in a movie. I don't know. I'd have to look at all the 20-year-old something actors to really even think about it. I don't know. Who would you guys cast as Nightwing in a movie? Hateful Mate, Nicole Aniston. There's your answer. Uh, Oh, these are great. So many things I want to answer, but I don't feel like they're quite appropriate. How long do you like your steak cooked? Medium. Medium. Anything over that, and you're not eating steak, you might as well go eat tire tread. Matt Duria. Now go shit yourself. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the questions. Best Nicolas Cage performance. I was I you know it's funny. I was actually on Movie Fights a few months ago, and I actually had to answer this question, and I said Bad Lieutenant was his best performance. But you could also argue that Leaving Las Vegas was technically his best performance, seeing how he actually won something for that performance. Or was he nominated, or did he win? I don't remember. But I the more outlandish Nicolas Cage can be, that's what I want from Nick Cage. The Force Awakens or Rogue One? I'm gonna go with The Force Awakens, but I hate. But damn it, those 20 seconds of Darth Vader in Rogue One, man. Those if you could have just expanded on that, you would have had a great movie that people wanted to see. The thing that pisses me, I'm getting excited. Don't get scared. I'm getting excited now. The thing about Rogue One that pisses me off is everyone wanted more Darth Vader. They wanted more insight to Darth Vader. That's what we wanted to see. We didn't care about this boring generic main villain on the Death Star. We didn't give a shit about him. We didn't need him. Why didn't the movie focus more on Darth Vader to make him the main villain of the film and to give fans what they've been waiting to see? Oh, no, you don't want to take the most iconic villain of all time and really give him to the fans? They just can never give us what we truly want. And they had an opportunity to do it, and the best things about Rogue One were everything to do with Darth Vader. So, so much potential. What is my favorite Iron Man suit? I always thought the first one was the I didn't like I like all the Iron Man suits except the one with the little triangle. I hate that. I hate the triangle. Why do movies suck? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, the thing is, not all movies suck. Every year, we get 1 to 2 movies that are actually really good movies. Now, I know when we go see movies throughout the year, you might think there's more than 1 or 2 really good movies, but really think about it. Think about the movies you watched last year or the year before that. Now, how many of those movies do you remember? Do you care? Did they impact you? And how many of those movies do you want to go back and actually watch again? That's the truth. When you think about last year and the year before, there's only maybe 2 or 3 movies that you actually want to watch that you give a shit about. So, as far as why do movies suck, it's because originality is a thing of the past. There is studios are scared. They want to make the same thing over and over again because anything that made money, they will make that same thing until it completely runs out of the ability to make any money. And if people will see junk, well, we will get junk. So I've always stood by the standard that we should hold movies to a very high expectation because that's what we deserve. That's what we want. And if you do that, you will always get better movies. So, as far as why do movies suck, movies are a business. It's about making money, not necessarily art. I hope that answers the question. Did you like Ben Affleck's butt in Batman v Superman? I didn't dislike it. Not as many ass shots in Batman v Superman as we got in Batman and Robin. That's for sure. That's for sure. Black Widow or Wonder Woman? I'd go with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was good. That was like, that's the direction they went. The right DC figured it out and they went the right direction. I mean, thanks to director Patty Jenkins. But I think Wonder Woman's a much more interesting character, a much more visually interesting character than Black Widow. Do you think we'll see a live action Darth Vader again? I do believe so. I do believe so, and I think they'll make any movie they possibly can to include him once again. And if they don't, I would feel very cheated. I mean, it's just like you have all these abilities now. Go as far back as you want. Make another prequel movie. Just make a fucking Darth Vader movie. Just make a standalone Darth Vader movie. You know, make the prequel to Rogue One, or make something in between one of the movies. I make a story somewhere else in between some of the iconic movies we've already had, and include Darth Vader in there. That's what we want to see, or at least I do. I don't know. Thoughts on Charlie? Thoughts on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, directed by Tim Burton. I hated that movie. I hated that movie. I love the original with Gene Wilder, but I hate the Tim Burton one. How tall are you? I'm 6 foot. Did you watch Batman and Robin in theaters? I did not watch Batman and Robin in theaters. I think I watched it for the first time on VHS. I and I remember even as a kid watching it and feeling so disappointed and thinking, this is a piece of shit. Like, this is a piece of shit. I have seen the movie In Time, starring Justin Timberlake, I believe. I actually went to the theater to see that. What a very forgettable movie. Uh, Gosh. Okay, I'm gonna take a few more questions and then I'm going to end it. I appreciate everyone joining. I feel like I need to eat before I pass out and become unresponsive to you guys. Of course, I've seen Big Trouble in Little China. Who do you think I am? Come on. Let's find a good question. Okay, wait. I'm trying to read this question. Would you rather throw away all of your Batman stuff, including movies, or watch Spider-Man 3 every day? I think I could throw away my Batman stuff. I just don't think I could spend the rest of my life watching Spider-Man 3. Do you spend a lot of time going to see movies? Yeah, I do. Any movie, I do get early screenings of some movies, but the thing is, most of them, I have to drive to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is roughly 2 hours away. So to see any early screening of a movie, I have to spend 2 hours driving there and 2 hours back to see the movie. So if I do that once or even twice a week, that's it's pretty time consuming. Who would you date? Martha and Batman v Superman or Aunt May and Spider-Man? Oh, come on. You got to go with Aunt May. Marissa Tomei? Jesus. Yes, Aunt May all day long. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. Hopefully, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question, but I do appreciate everyone joining in. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. It was fun. We will do more of these. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining in. And let me figure out how to end this because I'm stupid. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. And by the way, if you want more Q&A, watch my latest Q&A video. It's a Snapchat Q&A video because I like to look at you guys when I answer questions. So definitely check that out. That's here on the John Flickster channel. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.